Breaking news! What if I told you that one of the Ravens' most underrated offseason moves might actually be turning into one of their most explosive stories yet? And what if a long-standing pillar of the team, one who's been seen as the heart of the offense, might be getting quietly phased out? Stick around, because this could change the way you look at the 2025 Baltimore Ravens. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," down below. Let's flood the comment section with purple pride. Let's get straight to it, because we have real football updates from OTAs, and the buzz is real. First, let's talk about the man they're calling Sule. That's right, Adafo is packing on the power this offseason, adding a massive 20 pounds to his frame. Jumping from 245 to 265, he looks like a different beast altogether. Those arms, bigger than most fans' legs. But here's the debate. Will this bulk up hurt his edge speed, or will it finally make him a dominant force in both the pass rush and run defense? He's coming off a season where he doubled his sack total, and now with more size, the ceiling might just be higher than ever. But for a speed rusher like Adaf, the added weight could be a gamble. He could become a complete game wrecker, or he could slow just enough to miss key plays. It's a storyline to watch very closely as we inch toward training camp. Now, let's shift the focus to one of the biggest surprises of open practice, DeAndre Hopkins. And no, we're not talking about him as a washed-up vet padding out the roster. Forget that narrative. This man came to play, and to prove people wrong. Despite joking on Instagram that he's old and can't run, he clocked and tied for second fastest on the field at OTAs, hitting 20 miles per hour. That's just 0.3 miles per hour away from being the fastest player tracked. In one session alone, he hauled in all three of Lamar's passes, made a full extension diving catch near the sideline, and beat Marlon Humphrey on a clean-out route. Remember when folks said Hopkins to Baltimore was a retirement tour move? He's about to shatter those assumptions. His hands are still elite. His routes are crisp. He's not done. Far from it. Let's put this to the test. Over or under 6.5 touchdowns for Hopkins this season? Drop your answer in the comments. Now, if you thought that was enough excitement for one OTA, let's talk Devontae Walker. Last season, barely saw the field. This season, he's making noise. Real noise. Jonas Schaefer reported Walker wasn't just running with the second unit, he was making big-time catches with the first team, including a highlight toe-tap touchdown from Cooper Rush. From just 20 snaps and one touchdown catch in 2024 to potentially a legit WR4 threat behind Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Hopkins, that's huge. The speed is there. The separation is happening. And if he continues this trajectory, Baltimore's receiver room may be deeper and more dangerous than we've seen in years. But here's where things get murky, because while the offense is gaining weapons, one name hangs over everything: Mark Andrews, the franchise tight end, the go-to guy, the leader. But this offseason, there's been more talk about Isaiah Likely than ever before. Likely isn't just coming into his own, he's being positioned for something bigger. He called Andrews big brother in practice, showed how much he values him, but it's what John Harbaugh said that really made waves. Harbaugh publicly stated he wants Likely to be an all-pro. That's not a throwaway comment. That's a message. Because if he reaches that level, it means big money. And in a cap-strapped league, you don't pay two tight ends top dollar. You pick one, Andrews or Likely. That's the question. And it might already be answered behind closed doors. So Ravens fans, tell me, if you had to choose, who would you extend, Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews? Because things are about to get a lot more complicated. Want the rest of the story? John Harbaugh doesn't just throw out praise like "I want to see him be an all-pro" without serious intent. That's not just motivational coaching. That's forward-looking team strategy. When you consider that both Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews are set to hit free agency in 2026, the writing starts to appear faintly on the wall. Andrews has been the heart of this offense, but if Likely explodes this season, can the Ravens really afford to lock up both tight ends long-term? Let's be honest, cap flexibility is real, and even though Baltimore has been masterful in managing it, it's unlikely they pay premium dollars to two players at the same position. This is why Harbaugh's comment might have been more of a calculated leak than a casual compliment. If Isaiah Likely turns in the kind of season Harbaugh envisions, one worthy of all-pro consideration, the Ravens will be preparing to transition. That means that as much as the locker room loves Mark Andrews, and as important as he's been to Lamar Jackson's career, Baltimore might be prepping for a future where Likely is TE1. This offseason could very well be the last one with both in purple and black. And the ramifications of this shift aren't just financial. The offensive identity could change. When both tight ends are on the field, especially in 12 personnel, it creates defensive mismatches that open up everything. But if the Ravens move forward with only one, they'll need even more from their wide receivers. Thankfully, that room seems more ready than ever. We've already touched on Devontae Walker, but Zay Flowers is poised for a leap. Rashad Bateman has a chip on his shoulder, and Hopkins is proving he's far from finished. The pieces might just align perfectly for the transition, but it won't be easy. Speaking of tough comebacks, we've got to talk about Darius Washington. The young safety suffered a torn Achilles, a brutal injury, but according to Harbaugh, it was a clean tear. That might sound bad, but in rehab terms, a clean tear can actually be easier to repair and recover from. Washington believes he'll be back by November. That's ambitious. Harbaugh sounded cautiously optimistic, but emphasized not rushing things. Achilles injuries are unpredictable. 6 months is a tight turnaround, and as much as we want to believe in Washington's mindset and work ethic, science doesn't bend to willpower. Still, if he's back by the postseason, that's a huge win for the secondary depth and special teams. Now let's turn to the MVP, the real engine of this Ravens team. Lamar Jackson. He's entering this season not just with expectations, but with a statement to make. He went 10 for 11 and 11 on 11s during the latest open practice, and his only incompletion came from a drop deep ball to Zay Flowers. Lamar looks dialed in. Jonas Shaffer described it best. This wasn't just routine work, this was sharp, competitive, and surgical. It's hard not to feel that MV3 vibe coming back. The numbers? They'll come. But it's the command, the confidence, and the leadership that are resonating right now. He's got weapons, he's got a backfield, and for the first time in a while, he's got continuity on offense. And speaking of the backfield, Keaton Mitchell is back, and he's looking dangerous. Last year, you could tell he wasn't fully recovered from his knee injury. There was hesitation, and it showed in his usage. But at OTAs, that hesitation is gone. He beat rookie linebacker Teddy Buchanan on a wheel route, making a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch in 7-on-7s. With Derrick Henry as the power back and Justice Hill thriving in the pass game, Mitchell is carving out a lane as the dynamic runner who keeps defenses guessing. If his health holds up, Baltimore might quietly have one of the most versatile backfields in the league. There's a theme running through this Ravens offseason, and it's one of transition, opportunity, and quiet intensity. Young players are stepping up. Veterans are proving doubters wrong. And leadership, both from players and coaches, is pointing this team towards something big. But as promising as everything looks, there's still one massive question hanging over the franchise, and it could dictate how this entire 2025 season is remembered. Will this be the year the Ravens finally get over the hump? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Ravens!